Hey, I want to show you some photographs and talk about photographs today as a photographer. To me, a photograph is something that is concrete. It's tangible. It's a real thing. It can be a printout, an Instax, a Polaroid picture. It can be a photograph printed in a book, a tin plate, on a glass, but it needs to be something that is concrete, that is real. To me, a picture on a computer screen is not a photograph. It's just some pixels lit up on the same surface that you will next file your tax filing and watch some Netflix. That's not a photograph. Now, this is not a digital versus analog thing. Most of the pictures nowadays start their life in the digital world, captured with a digital camera or phone and then edited in Lightroom or Snapseed. But they eventually need to be printed on a physical, real media. Inkjet printer, printing service, for them to become real photographs. Now, you may say that I'm splitting hair here, but give me a chance. Let me try to explain why, to me as a photographer, this is such an important thing. And I wish we had different words for a photograph and then an image on the screen. Now, the first thing is size. I made a video about the size of our photographs, and we lost totally the concept of size in the digital world. You never know how your image will be viewed. Is that a small, tiny image on a phone or big TV screen? But to me, the size is hugely important, and I want to have a control over the size. It can be a handheld. It can be something that is slightly bigger and you can frame it, or it can be huge image that you put on the wall and then it becomes a part of that environment, that room, and it can't be easily removed or haphazardly switched to another picture. Now, in addition to the size, a real photograph has also many other physical properties that are important. One of the most important is the paper type that the image is printed on. The paper type of a photograph. Like, I work in a darkroom and I can select a fiber-based paper, a matte paper like in this case, that gives this organic, almost a bit soft feeling to it. Whereas if I choose from the same negative a resin-based glossy paper, it becomes a totally different photograph. I can go and tone my pictures. I tone this with T. This is untoned. Same negative, two different photographs. I can choose a very interesting rag-based paper that has a strong texture to it. And then this texture becomes part of this image. These are all, to me, integral parts of a photograph. If I print my pictures on a book, they have a permanent location in a series of photographs. There's a reason why this picture is here and this one is here on this spread. Why this one is bigger, this one is smaller. It's a selection I made. Also selected the paper type and the printing technique, an offset print in this case. They all influence the photograph that we are looking at, and it can't be changed afterwards. Now, a photograph also has three-dimensional properties. It has edges. I often cut little slices out of my prints because then they feel better in my hands. They have these organic edges to them. Photographs also have a backside where I often print my name and the location and some other information. So they are three-dimensional objects. A photograph has also a smell to it. I don't know how important that is. All I'm saying is that all these physical properties make different photographs different, and they are not just images, they are physical, concrete things. Now, I lately started to make white frames around my photographs. And this is also something that can't be taken away from this photograph, unless you just cut it and destroy it, but then it's no longer this photograph. And how I do these things, I have thick cardboard and I cut out these frames or templates, different sizes. And then when I print, I put them on top of the paper and print through this frame. And what do I get is that I make these with carpet knives, so they have a little bit rough organic edges, and I really like the way they look. So I can see from each and every photograph slightly different blemishes or even errors, but they become an integral part of this photograph. I like these kind of things. They make these photographs unique, and on that topic, each and every photograph is a unique thing. Unlike a digital image that can be reproduced and copied as many times as you want. I made a few photographs out of this negative in my darkroom the other day. This is my mom, and I'm planning to give one to my daughter, the other one to my other daughter, maybe one to my brother, maybe one to my mother. And they all are different photographs with slightly different feeling to them, as they are printed in an analog darkroom. You can't make two exact copies. Also, the frame shows some rough edges here, which I like a lot. Now, to me as a photographer, all these physical properties are so important, and they are an important part of the photograph that can't be reproduced in the digital realm. And now this YouTube is a bit challenging format for me to show all of these details to you. So therefore I will make a few of my photographs available if you would be interested in experiencing them yourself and even purchasing them. I make few of this copy available. This is from Dubrovnik in Croatia. We went with my wife. These are from my new Leica camera that I just made a video about. Kind of a new experience to me, so I also wanted to try them as real photograph. Also a few copies of this other picture. This is from my last boat trip to downtown Tampere this fall, that I took my Leica camera with me and made a few prints. Well, now I say that it needs to be in a concrete physical form for it to be a photograph. But I also recognize that I'm probably in the minority. Most people are interested in what's in the photograph more than they are interested in the photograph itself. Like if I showed this picture to my friends at the marina, they would ask me questions like, what year model is your Mercury outboard engine? Or how have you treated the wood in your mahogany boat? But they wouldn't ask me questions like, what's the paper type of this photograph? Or how does the edges feel like? That's irrelevant for them. But I'm not like that. Here's a photograph of some trees. And I'm interested in how did I print it, what does it look like. I couldn't care less about these trees. They are insignificant for me. Here's another picture of the same trees. This is another photograph. To me it's important and interesting that these are different photographs. Different aspect ratio. This is a bit darker. For the reason that I wanted to emphasize different things. And that's important to me, not what kind of trees these are. So maybe it's just the photographer in me that things that way. But these physical properties of a photograph have become more and more important to me, and it's these nuances in a photograph that mean a lot to me. And I feel strongly that by selecting the size, the surface, the feeling, maybe not the smell of a photograph, let me tell different stories. Let me show you different aspects of me and maybe also about the subjects in my photograph. And on that, it's good to end. Thanks for watching. Next time, something else.